Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 26 with the Chicago White Sox. This is the first season that is officially AI, by which I mean after Ito. Atsuji Ito has done us a tremendous amount of service over the years. He will be departing shortly. He's on the downswing of his career, and his salary demands are just too ridiculous. The man wants to make all of the money, and I can't afford it. Like, that's what it comes down to. I cannot afford to pay him that much money. The good news is, Edwin Hernandez is probably about ready to be called up and have a role on the team. Then again, there's a question of Bill Shiflett, so we have plenty of choices to replace him potentially. Herb Berry playing second base is probably one of the best outcomes of this. We shipped him over to second. Gibbs stays at shortstop, and we just upgraded third. Shiflett can't play third, can he? He cannot. But I think I have other third basemen like Hussein and others who could be quite valuable in this process here. We also finally have Chris Waters in the major leagues, which is pretty exciting. We don't have our new scouting director yet, but we did hire one. We're just waiting for the check to clear, so to speak. We also need to promote we need to get a new AA manager. Roberto Arias is a pretty good choice. He's a multi-time winner. He's a very good manager. I think promoting him is a very sensible move for us. Then one of you two gentlemen is going to get promoted to A-ball. It's not going to be Will Venable. It's going to be Ridge Smith. So Ridge, welcome to High A. Scouting director is in the process of being filled, but now we just need a new rookie league manager. Let's send somebody who's got great mechanical knowledge, right? That's the key here. Darwin Rivera would be absolutely perfect if he's willing to sign with us. I think he would be a very fine manager at the lowest level, so we'll go after that. Next on our plate, we want to go ahead and get some player development started. Alex Pulido has a chance to actually be a very good starting pitcher. He just needs a little bit of help. Let's get him that help by giving him some more control. I think that's what the doctor ordered. Improve control. That's what the doctor usually orders. The doctor's a very consistent man. He enjoys it. I want to get Jason Miller some reps in here. His control's pretty good. I'd like to work on his movement or his secondary pitches. We'll do movement. That's fine. So that's the guys in the Major League roster. What about our prospects? Who are the big-ins here? I want Edwin Hernandez to thrive. I think he has so much raw potential offensively. His nickname is Wacko. Yeah, he's real good. He is not leaving us without being added to the 40-man. Let's go ahead and give him what he needs, which is some... If he would cut down on the strikeouts, I'd be the most happy, but I think that's probably too much to ask. It's a very hard training for him. Let's work on plate discipline instead. Brady Olver needs to most definitely work on his discipline. Johnny Palacios. I guess you can just work on your play discipline as well. Evidently. Nick Ambroso, let's get you working on your control, please. If you'd be so kind. Angel Reyes is somebody in the major leagues or close to it. I want him to get some meaningful opportunities here. Let's have you work on your movement. Raul Cruz is somebody I'm willing to just let develop normally. He's not like anywhere near the majors. Alex Garcia, on the other hand, it's probably fine to just keep working. Hector Godinez is a baseball player, I suppose. I guess that is his literal definition. Ivan Orozco, work on your control, please. Thank you very much. Let's talk arbitration now. Adam Jones wants a pretty hefty raise. And I am not so overwhelmed with starting pitching options that I can give him up. That future may be coming very rapidly, but at the moment, I don't think it's there yet. I think letting him stick around for another season is reasonable. Give you a contract extension. He wants $6 million. I don't really want to pay him that much, but if that's the market price for right now, that's fine. That's sorted. Josh Valentin equally gets a nice little raise here. That's that sorted. Jose Altomar is never going to be quite what I expected him to be. At one point, he was going to be one of the best relievers in the major leagues. Now he's just pretty good, but his salary is basically non-existent. So I will happily give him a very small raise. I say very small raise. This is multiple times what I earn in a year, and I'm a fairly well-paid professional. John Kennett, man, you just never worked out. I'm also shot capped Hershey Dogar. But yeah, you're most definitely being non-tendered. Like, that's not even a question. Adam Wilson wants a raise. That's probably reasonable. That's probably fine. I think a small raise for him is reasonable. Now, Jay Horner wants a very large raise, and I'm certainly not going to be able to tell him he doesn't deserve it. I would love to give him a longer-term deal if he'll take it, but not so much that we're crippled by it. So what if we did one of these deals here? I think he has been such a good relief pitcher for us that giving him this longer-term contract is very reasonable to me. But he's been outstanding the last 3 seasons. And having a great closer is really nice, especially when you don't have to pay him as much as some closers make on the open market. Leo Torres, man. Sean Henry hasn't exactly lapped him, but I guess the problem is right now I don't have a very clear successor to not Leo Torres, to Kyle Teal. I mean, we got Teal only for one more season. Well, no, technically 2 more seasons. Yeah, 1 more season. Yeah, this upcoming season is his last. So I think we have to pay him, even though I don't think he's earned it. But I think we have to pay him. So I think we will. This is acceptable behavior for now. I really want somebody to win the job from Kyle Teal. I don't want Teal starting if I can avoid it. Alberto Maini is excellent. I would not mind signing him long-term, provided his demands are reasonable, and they are not reasonable. This motherfucker wants to get paid like he's an MVP candidate, which he is not. I absolutely am not giving him this big a contract. I refuse. 1 year and a decent raise, I think, is fine. This I can abide, but I cannot abide giving you $20 million a year. Jonathan Holstrom I think it's somebody I'd actually rather trade than give a new contract to. Um, it's not like he's totally useless. He was beneficial to us last season, offering us the left-handed side of the platoon, which we needed. But he's actually not that great. A lot of his value comes from the fact that he's a pretty good outfielder and that he's got decent base running chops. He's actually not that great a player. I do think nickeling and diming him over what's a fairly small salary is probably not what I want to do. So I think I will go ahead and give him his 1 year extension, but we're gonna keep on the lookout for him. Ito is not gonna take this offer. Not at all. Noah Schultz wants to come back. I don't want him back. Um, all the love in the world for you, my friend. I am not paying you any money because I'm not going to give you a guaranteed roster spot. I think that's incredibly dumb. One of the dumbest moves I could make, in my opinion. All right. As soon as we have an opening, by the way, Mr. Edwin Hernandez will be given a spot on the 40-man. I don't see an immediate path to everyday playing time unless he DHs. No, he can't DH. That's Danny Rios' job, which he's very good at. So it's going to be interesting. I wish he could play a different position. Maybe that would be good. Oh well. So let's advance a little bit of time here and see what happens. The Mets would trade me the Oscar Balboa. Oscar Balboa is pretty sensational as the pitchers go. But they're also getting a lot in return. He could start, right? He could absolutely start. Is giving up Hussein... So here's the thing. Okay, let's break this down for us. This is basically Jason Miller for Oscar Balboa. That's what it boils down to. Singh is fine. Mitch Waters just had a really good season in the minor leagues, but he's nothing special. Balboa is more of a proven track record. I think I'd probably go for this. I think this is probably the kind of deal that I want to make. Let me flag Miller as a former Sox. And we're going to pull the trigger. I know why the Mets did it. The Mets did it because he's probably wanting a lot of money, and but I think he's worth it, potentially. Maybe. Here we go. Turn him into a starter, please, if you don't mind. He's still really good as a starting pitcher. I still like that. I still like that move. I think it just makes us a better team right now. Darwin Rivera is being offered a nice offer. What if I gave you 200 grand? How about that? All right. So we did get Sean Gamble locked up. I think he's a little bit overpaid, but his leadership and his ability to play multiple positions makes him pretty handy. He's a pretty handy dude. Fans are jazzed about re-signing him. Fans like Maini too. We got all the contracts signed except my scouting director, who's still pussyfooting around a bit. There he goes. Nice. Balboa is a really nice addition. I'm actually pretty happy about this. This gives us a rotation that's most likely going to be Waters, Balboa, Charles. Oh, I need to put him on the roster, sorry. Yeah, so it's going to be Balboa, Charles, Waters, and then maybe Jones and Vantine, something like that. That's really good. I'm really happy that deal happened. Because I do think great starting pitching is what's going to get us over the hump once and for all. That's how we get back to the promised land and win ourselves another World Series title. That's my opinion anyway, but I think it's justified. We got reliever of the year in Jay Horner. Nice. A silver slugger for Bill Shiflett. Pretty tasty. Pretty good. Phillies would like to give me Travis Zamora. I'm not giving up Sean Gamble right now. I think Gamble's a little bit too valuable for me. Maybe my opinion will change down the line, but for right now, I think we can just kind of hang out. I'm prepared, by the way, for fans to be very grumpy with me once Ito leaves. I'm accepting this. Okay, I could use a good young catcher. Alberto Calderon is not a good young catcher. He is manifestly not what I'm looking for. And Ito declined the qualifying offer, just as I expected. Contract demands are still outrageous. I'm just going to preemptively name you a former Sox because I don't see you coming back to me. I don't have that kind of money. But we'll see what happens here. That's Mr. Tibbs. Okay. Neat. This is a good market for second baseman, which probably hurts Ito a little bit. What do I want? What would make me the happiest, free agent wise? I mean, a 21-year-old starting pitcher with this much raw talent. I know I don't have a ton of money for extensions, but this is what you spend money on. Like, this is the thing. Let's try it. I will happily give you this kind of contract. If you are as good as I think you're going to be, you are worth every cent of it. I know this basically turns all of my monetary savings from losing Ito and applies them to two other players, but I think it's the right decision. I think it's absolutely the kind of splash that makes us genuinely a threat to run the table potentially. Now, here's the thing. I don't think he's going to sign for this little. I think someone else is going to offer him like $30 million here, and I'm not going to be able to compete with that. But it's good to try. Eh, you're not terrible, but I don't think I don't think you're what I'm looking for. I don't think you're something that really interests me that much. Trade proposal. Raul Valle. I said I wanted a dynamic young catcher. His bat certainly will play. He's not a great catcher, but I think we can make this work. Adam Jones is a pretty decent pitcher. I'm not going to be happy that we're losing him, but I think it more than makes up for it to have a dynamic catching prospect. Alex Madrid is nothing special. He is a very good shortstop. Can I get you to take someone besides Alex Madrid? I want to see if we can get greedy. If I can keep Alex Madrid because he has a very good defensive glove, and I want to make sure that we respect that, we can vote for Gunnar Henderson, I guess. And Edwin Diaz, okay. Porter Hodge, not so much. I've never even heard of Porter Hodge. I'm sure he's a real person and everything, but never heard of him. Aaron Nola, maybe. Salvador Perez, I think, deserves a vote. None of the real, like, this guy is an inner circle Hall of Famer 100%. It's mostly just a bunch of dudes who are fairly good at baseball. I'm not disputing their skill at baseball, but they're not like, finally, we get to vote for this guy or that guy. This is also a thoroughly underwhelming rookie class for the Hall of Fame. I'll vote for Aaron Nola. I think a stat line like that is reasonable. It's a reasonable consideration here. I'll definitely vote for Jacob deGrom. I'll definitely vote for Corbin Burns. I don't think that's it. I don't think anybody else here has anything else. I mean, Blake's not the 3-time Cy Young Award winner. I feel like that's at least worth a vote. But Zach Wheeler is better than he is, like, over the course of his career. So, this is fine. Gunnar Henderson probably makes it, and either Machado or Lindor, or maybe even both. Maybe it's both. Maybe it's not both. Maybe I'm being stupid. It wouldn't be the first time. Let's make sure we have our shiny new scouts opinions of everything. There we go. He's wanting something really special to make this deal work. I'm willing to meet you part of the way. Or am I? Am I prepared to part with Carrion for him? Probably. Probably that's a move I'm prepared to make. It's a high price. It's an incredibly high price. But I think it's a price that we have to pay. It's a nice way to get very cheaply improved a catcher. And while I do think Mr. Vaporlock here is a very good prospect, he's such a good prospect, though. I can't do it. I can't trade Carrion. He's too good. But I need catching. Are you that great a catcher, though? Like, you're a very good hitter that happens to catch, but you're not an overwhelmingly great catcher. But man, players of this caliber don't end up on the don't end up on the market very often. Damn. Could I get another prospect, maybe? Is that something I could request? Like a Billy D's? A Billy D's nuts? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. That might bite me in the butt. That might have been a mistake. But I think it's a mistake we had to make. I think we're the kind of team where our windows are going to be open forever. And I think this is the moment where we make a bit of a splash. And I need a better catcher. I absolutely 100% need a better catcher. It is not something it's not something that's optional. It's something that is required. He's instantly the best catcher on the roster, and I think that's what makes him so valuable to me. Who's Rule 5 eligible? Okay, Edwin Hernandez obviously gets a spot here. I think Ryan Jaster gets a shot. I'm gonna take Kevin Davis, Elias Delgado, and send them both to the minors after removing them from the 40-man, so we can add a couple more people here. I don't think Hector Godinez is that impressive, to be honest with you. I think maybe we try to flip him to get a prospect in return. I think for what we're looking for, he's not good enough. When I can get like an otherworldly reliever who's actually got a chance to start, I think this is the move. Yeah, I think this works for me. I recognize that Godinez had possibly a role on this team, but I'd rather keep an elite potential rather than just a medium one. Vicente Montoya is not a very good player. I don't think anyone's going to bother taking him, to be honest with you, but, you know. This is probably fine. I want to leave at least one roster spot open so I can consider. Oh, I think they have to clear waivers first, don't they? That's true. That's true. Oh, Godinez is even a right-handed bat, so I definitely didn't need that. I'll pay $20 million a year. I think that's worth it. I think that's very worth it to me. I'm not going to sign him at any price. That's something I'm not prepared to do. There is a spot in which I stop. I currently have about $12 million available for free agents, which is pretty nice. That's pretty nice. I think 25 million a year is my max. I think that's the most I can reasonably say that I can afford. I think beyond 25 million a year, I think we get into real trouble. Then again, like he is like a top of the market ace, right? Like this is what you open up your bank account for. This is instant credibility. This makes all the other pitchers on the roster better. Maybe I do need to be a little bit less stingy with my money. Possibly. Conceivably. Fine. I have to try until I literally can't afford it anymore. That's how I feel about this. Oh, Cleveland traded Tilmau Faure. Okay. I very much recognize, by the way, that this is a gigantic financial outlet. Fucking Yankees or the Mets. 32 million. That's it. If he doesn't take this offer, then we're done. We'll figure something else out. It'll be. We can feel proud that we really pushed it. Ito, I get a supplemental first round pick, which is pretty exciting. How much money is he earning? Wow, that's a dick move, bro. If you would have come, I am annoyed. I'm very annoyed. I am salty. That is something I wish that was in the game. I wish you had the chance to convince people to stay. Like he should have come to me, right? Like you should have been, yes, I would like an opportunity. And that didn't happen. I could do the funniest thing and claim Hector Godinez, but I don't really think I want to. Dustin Vasquez is actually an interesting idea. I think he's pretty decent. He's got a nice arm. He's a good pitcher. I know he's out for 3 months, but that means he's still going to be in. He's going to be ready to go for spring training. I think that's something worth taking. I think he's got enough raw talent that I think it's a smart idea. And then I lost Johann Schaefer. The fuck is Johann Schaefer? He's a mediocre outfielder. Okay, fine. I can do mediocre. I think that's it for me. I think I just take the one player. I don't think there's anybody else here that really gets me that excited. Cancel. I keep clicking the wrong button because I'm stupid. I'm not very bright. Here we go. Autocomplete the draft. Julio. I'm still a little bit salty about. My dude, Ito. We could have been the best of buds if you had come to me and said, "I will sign for less than 20 million." I would have happily taken that deal every day of the week. Okay. Who is that guy is just complaining about? His name was something or other. I don't remember anymore. Um, I mean, I could just keep Josh Morgan. Um, Josh Morgan isn't useless. I just don't think he's very good. Somebody's going to look at Leo Torres's defensive capabilities and want to keep him around. Let me trade Sean Henry, actually. Somebody might want Sean Henry. Somebody might be like, damn, that's actually a reasonably good catcher. I'm getting some decent offers here. Chris Glenn is on a second baseman. This doesn't solve my problem if I pick him up. Fernando Galvan would, though. Fernando Galvan seems like a pretty good dude. What about David Manning? I do like David Manning, actually. Can I get Manning and Galvan, or am I being crazy pants if I ask for both? Some way to find out, right? Wow. Done. The dunnest of deals. I'm not saying either one of these guys is necessarily the greatest ever, but they're both very solid. You're a non-draft pick. There you go. And now, most importantly, Doi has a spot on the 40-man. Wow. When I started this episode, at no point did I think I'm just going to completely remake my rotation. But that's what's happening, and I'm absolutely here for it. There's a very realistic chance that Charles opts out of his deal at the end of next season. I feel very strongly that that's the case. If that's what happens, that's what happens. You know, it's hard to get excited about it. But I genuinely think we've made ourselves El Salvador Perez, Corey Seager, and Christian Yelich all made it. Okay. That's cool. Neat. But yeah, we went from a great lineup with an okay rotation to a pretty good lineup with an amazing rotation. This is just a meaningless deal. Like, I'm not getting anything of interest here, and you're not really gaining anything of interest. I think I just reject it. Like, it's just a weird deal. I cannot afford Lexi's cruise. That's not going to happen. I'm sorry. Um, Let me shift her Barry to second base. That should stop people from asking me stupid questions about him. Okay. I spent 5.7 million on international free agents. Let's go. Nicolas Berthier is exactly the kind of player that I'm looking for. Fantastic all-around hitter, lots of positional flexibility. We're done. We're so done. Oh, you're not gonna let me sign anybody. Is that how it is? I spent too much money, huh? Yeah, the owner won't let me do it. That's rude. Maybe we just sit this one out then. You know what? Roberto Sandoval should be somebody we can snap up. He's not that great, but he's cheap, I guess. No, even that's too much money? Shit. I literally just bring in a whole bunch of salary, you know? Like, a gigantic fuck ton of money just got added to my books. Um, Between the Horner extension and Kyoji Doi, I get it. I'm a little sad that I won't get a chance to add him in there, but Nicolas Berthier, I don't have any money for you, my dude. Like, I literally can't offer you anything more than this. I can't give you 444,000. I truly cannot. I don't have the money. I don't have a way to get rid of. I don't even have a way to make the money. Um, I need a fucking owner who will let me have the goddamn purse strings. Is what I need. I could reduce my draft expenditures to basically manufacture money. What if we did that? Now I should have money to go ahead and snap him up because I think he is that special. I want him on my team. I'm gonna do this as 5700000. There we go. I think he's that good. I think he's got so much talent and capability that I'm excited for him to be on our team someday. I could have kept Ito. No, you know what? I need to just stop complaining about that because it doesn't matter. It genuinely doesn't matter when we get an ace. A bona fide ace is such a rare thing. I'm not gonna cry about it. I'm still a little bit salty. It would have been nice to see Ito retire as a White Sox, but I had no idea he was going to take that big a pay cut. I thought he was just going to keep insisting that he was worth $50 million or whatever. So lesson learned there, I suppose. Lesson learned. All right, let's go spring training roster set. Um, you're pretty terrible. Lanham, Renteria, Estrella. I will promote Evan Conway, because I think he's got some skill in the infield, and we can definitely use it. Huster. Let me add in Nick West. I think Nick West is a really good defensive backup, so he's another good catcher to have on the roster. John Bruton is decent too. Okay. Nick Ambroso should rapidly move up through the minor leagues, I'm suspecting, which is going to be very excellent if that does end up happening. Dustin Vasquez, I'd like you to kindly go on the IL until you're ready to go. All right, 6-man rotation. Love that for us. I see that your solution has basically been, what if Danny Rios played right field? I'm not opposed to that solution if it does get Edwin Hernandez in the lineup every day, and if he is that good, which I think he could be, I think this is a winning move. I think it's something I can get behind. There we go. I can work with this. Let's sim up to opening day. Only Ivana Roscoe got any better. Everybody else got the same or worse. Well, nobody actually got worse either, so I guess that's something. Wait, are we not playing Bill Shiflett? Is that how we solve this issue? Or is Bill Shiflett still playing first? He's still playing first. Okay, great. Nothing too crazy is happening here. I'm not really seeing anything making that big an impact. I think Edwin Hernandez is going to have a big role on this team. Mr. Palacios, are you anywhere near being Major League ready? You're pretty far, actually. You have extreme injury risk. I don't like the sound of that. You should probably stop drinking so much Mountain Dew. I think that's just good life advice, though. I think you should watch your consumption of Mountain Dew if you want to be a happy and healthy person. It's very sugary. Very, very sugary. I mean, Jane Charles getting his typical injury out of the way in spring training. It's just back tightness, bro. Okay. Let's get decisions made here. 47 players. That's obviously entirely too many. 24 pitchers is way too many. Jesse Huster to the minor leagues. Campbell to the minors. Castillo to the minors. Gerling to the minors. Possibly Gummieni to the minors. Jaster to the minors. Orozco to the minors. Renteria to the minors. John Rodriguez to the minors. Lanham to the minors. I'm at 15 pitchers, so I gotta get rid of 2 more. Okay. I want to keep Gerling because I think Gerling is genuinely a pretty solid pitcher. I think Morgan can go to the minors. And then I think It's either Gerling or Talbot goes to the minors. Could be Altamar, but Altamar's actually got a pretty good track record with us that the other two don't have yet. Let me send down Talbot for now, and then we can talk about it later on. I'm not going to mess with this rotation. This rotation is perfect. I have no notes whatsoever. I don't really have a backup starting pitcher. That is interesting. That is potentially problematic. No, it's Pulido, isn't it? Yeah, Pulido, you need to be the emergency starter here. That's the only way that I think we can make it work. Excuse me. I probably want another proper starting pitcher on this roster, but I think for the moment this is fine. I think this is more than fine. We're now down to 13 pitchers, which is amazing. Let's get down to the appropriate number of hitters. All right. Evan Conway to the minors. I have 5 catchers. That's too many catchers. I think Valle is going to get his chance to start in the major leagues this year. I could let Teal get some playing time, but he's mostly just here for leadership and for defensive support. Okay. I have too many infielders. Oh, it's Honor Montez is the problem. Let's trade him. Remember how excited I was about him at one point? I was like, he's going to be the next Ito. He's going to take over the league. And then that didn't happen. Victor Leyva is perfectly cromulent. He's an acceptable player. We can make this happen. Done. I'm a little bit sad it was in Montez, but that's mostly because of nostalgia and imagining how great I thought he was going to be. In his defense, his 1 year in the majors is actually okay. Like, he has an all-star caliber season on his resume. But then he just never went anywhere from there. So, yeah. Alright. Let's go to some outfielders. Estrella can go. Bautista is gonna stay, obviously. I think I trade Jason Ransom. I think any chance of him being a productive player is now gone. If it was ever there to begin with. I think he's one of these guys I got attached to his prospect capabilities and he just never worked out. When I have a lineup that's this loaded, I don't need Jason Ransom on it. I can designate you for assignment. 3 more players gotta go. I saw too many outfielders. Hernandez actually looks better than Kozic, but Kozic has this incredible track record that means I have to basically ride him until he dies. If I'm keeping Schlotzhauer, and I think I probably am, then do I really also need Kubak? Kubak did a great job for what we wanted him to do, so I don't want to give him over too quickly. I think I have too many infielders also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think Halpern goes back to the minors. is one other solution to this problem. That means that you get rid of two outfielders. I think Holstrom is one of them. And it's either Kubek or Hernandez. And I think between those two, it's probably Hernandez. Hmm. The problem is Kubek and Schlotzauer are basically the same player in terms of what they bring to the table. Um, but he's clearly mastered AAA. I don't want to send Schlotzauer back to the minors. I don't think that's very smart of me. So I think we're going to demote Kubek. He'll be my last cut. And then let's get this lineup set up the way that I want it, please. So clear it all. Mr. Maini, you are and always will be my friend. No, you are and always will be my leadoff guy. All right. Who hit second on this incredible roster? I think it's probably Herb Berry. It's going to be hitting second each and every day. And then Shiflett hits third. All right. Raw unadulterated power is Danny Rios, if I've ever heard that before. So Danny Rios is going to hit cleanup. Every single day. Like, none of this is ever going to change. They're both too damn good. Rios isn't as good against lefties. This is actually a good chance to get Schlotzauer some at-bats if we want. Because Rios isn't the best against left-handed pitching. How did you do last year against lefties? Did you hold your own, or were you worthless? You were pretty fucking terrible against lefties, and you were amazing against righties. Okay. I need to platoon you quite clearly, so I will remove you from this lineup. And I think we will go ahead and let Mr. Schlotzauer here play right field, and probably hit like sixth or something. There we go. Garrett Kozic is going to play left field and be the switch hitter. Interesting. I need another outfielder. Is that true? It's not untrue. Yeah, I didn't anticipate benching Rios, but I think that is the right decision in all reality. You can't play the outfield, can you? You cannot. Well, it was worth asking the question, right? Edwin Hernandez is going to go ahead and play DH against both bats, but he's going to be playing it. He's going to be hitting cleanup against lefties. Raul Valle, I think, hit seventh, possibly fifth. Yorger Bautista hits eighth and eighth and seventh, rather. Excuse me. Here comes Gibbs. And then I guess maybe we just do play Rios against left-handed pitching for now, until we figure out what to do. Oh, we need to put Gibbs in the lineup against this too. This is known. All right. Rebuild my depth chart, if you please. Teal playing once every 3 games doesn't seem very smart to me. I feel like that's probably too much. I think every 5th game is fine. That's fine. I know Roots is a terrible right fielder. I understand this, but I need his big thumper thumping balls all over the place. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and simulate up to the 23rd, and see if Ransom has cleared waivers by then. Okay, he has. I'm gonna put him back on the roster. Who's Johann Schaefer? Who the fuck are you? Oh, you were the guy that got Rule 5'd, and I guess you don't like him anymore? I think we keep Ransom over Hernandez. I think that's the right decision here. No, we keep Kubek. That's the solution. I'm so smart. And then Kubek fills in for Rios, and everybody is happy. That does it. That was the solution. I think it was the solution last year, too. Yeah. Every 5 is fine. Yeah, because Kubek has actually proven he can handle the major leagues, which Ransom hasn't. This at least gives me choices, right? This gives me options. Where I can call him up later on if I want, and if I don't want, I don't have to. Nice. Cool. This is your opening day, Chicago White Sox. I think it's going to be real good. I think it's going to be real good. Now, what's the magic question here? What's the number one thing I'm concerned about? It's health. But we have 2 top 10 prospects making their major league debuts this year. Admittedly, one of them is a guy just signed off the market who's actually just an incredible player, but whatever. Weren't you an 80 out of 80 like 10 seconds ago? You are. Uh-oh. Bro, don't do this to me, man. You're not allowed to be a fucking washout. You're too young and too good for me to spend this much money for you to be, LOL, I actually suck. So what do we feel? What's new in this lineup? It's really 2 guys. It's Valle and it's Hernandez. It's full seasons for Herb Berry and Bill Shiflett at their positions. Yeah. But this could be the best rotation in Major League Baseball. Very possible. It all comes down to if Kyoji Doi is as advertised or if he is a bit shit. Balboa, low key, is another big key to our future success. This bullpen is freaking stacked, man. In particular, Jose Altamar, you had a great year last year. Let's make you the other setup guy. I think that's reasonable. I think that's fine. Angel Reyes doesn't have to be mop-up guy, does he? Yeah, maybe. Maybe for now. I don't want John Crank only facing lefties, though. I think that's a waste of his talent. He could get some middle relief work in every now and again, maybe. But yeah, I think our bullpen is excellent, and it has so much potential to be even better. As guys like John Crank develop, as guys like Adam Wilson continue to get their flowers. Oh, sorry, you should be 7th. Wilson should be 8th. Jaden Charles maybe is going to perform better now that he's not the ace. Maybe moving him down the lineup a little bit is going to make him feel a little bit better about himself. That'd be pretty nice. Chris Waters had a phenomenal rookie season, and I hope that he can build upon it. So this is a very, very well-rounded roster. However, it's also a little bit thin. A lot is being asked of rookies. And while I have some more reinforcements coming, I don't have players that can replace guys of the very toppest caliber. Um, there are some good players that can do replacing stuff. I think Chris Hernandez could probably handle the outfield if we needed him to. I think Dan Halpern is a very solid infielder. Holstrom is a perfectly viable outfielder. We've got some choices here, but I hope that my starters just do starting things as well as they can. Um, we've got good team chemistry. People love Sean Gamble, and Kyle Teal. This is probably it for Kyle Teal. I can't imagine him coming back to this club unless he takes a pretty big pay cut, which is obviously not going to happen. Um, Maini's going to want to get paid. A lot of people are going to want to get paid a lot of money. And there probably isn't money to pay even most of them. Because for whatever fucking reason, I only have the 17th largest payroll in the league, despite the fact... Sorry, 20th largest player payroll. You cheap motherfucker. I am in Chicago. I bet the Cubs aren't that low. No, because the number 7 payroll. Give me that payroll, and I will guarantee you World Series is. Um, I think we have every possibility to be a World Series team this year. If things go the way that we hope they do. If our young players keep developing, if the veterans perform the way that we know they can, if our rookies shine on the field, I think we have one of the most complete teams in the major leagues. But there is a lot of ifs there. And the biggest if of them all is, can people stay healthy? And that's what we're going to discover in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, this has been Guardian. I bid you good day.